Hello everybody, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day as a Fat Person reaction video. Please put your guesses of what you think we're going to see down below, and I reckon we're going to see someone have a dessert for breakfast. So let's get into it and see what's up.
Everything I ate before 1 PM on a Wednesday as a plus-size girl. I started my morning off with the best breakfast ever. These are the WIEIAD, but these are the protein ones. They do have 50% extra protein in. But two of them, and instead of normal milk, I put in my protein shake. It's the white chocolate one, and if you haven't tried it yet, oh, it's so good. And then, of course, I had a banana with this. The reason why I don't get the banana WIEIAD is because of the sugar.
Okay, so again, this is another lady where I think her heart and her will is in the right place, but I think her understanding of what she's actually doing isn't quite there. So she said she didn't get the banana WIEIAD because of the sugar content, but what she's eating, the WIEIAD themselves, are basically empty carbs. There's nothing to them at all. They're like, I assume you guys have WIEIAD in the US, but if you've not had them, they're like eating cardboard that's really flaky. It's like you've shredded a box, put the cardboard kind of stuck together into a block shape and eating that. That's what it is. It tastes like. It tastes of nothing. And they have got additional protein because these are the protein WIEIAD, but I think that is a marketing ploy to trick people into thinking they're healthier than they are. Don't sue me, WIEIAD, that's just my opinion. And that bowl is humongous. That is like a pasta bowl. She should put her cereal in a normal bowl because it looks more full. It tricks your brain into thinking that you're eating more than you are. And when you put food in a really big bowl or a really big plate, when you haven't then filled the plate, it looks like you haven't got a lot of food when you still might do. So that's a little bit of a, like a tiny little piece of information. But irrespective of that, the addition of the banana is good, and using the protein shake instead of milk is okay. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It is more protein. But if she is being conscious of her protein intake and her sugar content or sugar intake as well, what she could do instead is to get rid of the cereal completely and swap it out for something that is genuinely more high in protein, like a meat sauce. I don't know if she is a vegetarian or not, but what she could have instead, which would make her more full and would have more protein in it from like animal sources, would be have a slice of toast, because she likes carbs, with like some pulled chicken and maybe a small a small omelette on the side, or just two poached eggs, two fried eggs in butter or something like that you weigh out, and a side salad or something like that. Some roasted tomatoes, some diced mushrooms, and a little pot of beans, something like that. Very typical. She gives me British vibes. I assume she's British. She's just what she gives me, and the WIEIAD kind of tip me off with that. But if she's not, just forego the beans. I know they're expensive in foreign countries, so yeah, not a good breakfast, to be honest. She'll probably be hungry pretty quick.
It's so much fresher just to have the banana on top, and
it was her accent that made me think she was British. I don't know what I'm talking about. I've had a long day. I'm tired.
so much nicer. And then on to lunch, I'm having scrambled egg and toast. This is the first time I've actually ever made scrambled egg for myself. Don't know why, I just didn't like it, but I tried some of my boyfriends and it was so nice. Cracked free.
She's a grown adult, and this is the first time she's making scrambled eggs. Really? I don't mean to judge, or I don't mean to judge, but she's a grown woman and she's never made scrambled eggs. That's one of the first things that you teach her, like to teach children how to cook. Wow. The fact that she's never made scrambled eggs does suggest to me that she doesn't cook in general, and that is not good. You need to learn how to cook, whether that is for weight goals or health or whatever. You need to learn how to cook because you need to eat, because we're human beings and we need to eat to live. If you don't know how to cook, you're going to be eating out and it's going to be extortionately expensive. Learn to cook, and if you can't cook an egg, then you're in some trouble. And also that plate is really cute.
eggs into a bowl, and yes, I do scrambled egg in the microwave. And then I put
That's a lot of butter.
a little bit of butter in and some milk. I whisked that together and put some pepper in and some salt. Didn't actually mean
That was a lot of salt as well.
to put that much salt in. And then I put it in the microwave, and this took about 6 minutes.
It'd be quicker to cook it on the hob.
I did stir it through multiple times. Then I put 2 of the brown toast into the toaster. I'm also having some milk with this because it's the best combo ever. I buttered my toast, and yeah, I know I put a bit too much on. And that was my lunch, and that is literally everything I had before 1 p.m. on a Wednesday. And if you haven't tried scrambled eggs like this is your sign to do it.
If you haven't tried scrambled eggs like this is your way to scrambled eggs like what, honey? Do you mean cooked in the microwave? Because yeah, no, I don't cook scrambled eggs in the microwave. And to have scrambled eggs on toast is very common. So this is what her breakfast should have been. Get rid of one of the slices of toast, have the scrambled eggs, and have a pot of beans or some roasted tomatoes or something with it, so it's more voluminous and more tasty. A really good thing with mushrooms is you can dice them really finely and add them to things like scrambled eggs, and you can't taste the fact that they're mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms very much. I will only eat them if they're diced up small. I'm like a small child in that regard. But I just don't like the texture. It makes me gag. But this should have been her breakfast, and her lunch should have been more substantial. But also, she doesn't tell the times of she's eating these things, so she could have had her Weetabix at 11 and then had this at 12. So it's not ideal. But yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not the choice that I would have made. And having a cup of milk, I know I said in a video a while back that I've never seen anybody in the UK do it, and someone corrected me that they are also from the UK and they drink milk, so I was wrong, and here's another one that is doing that. So it could just be a me thing that I've just never witnessed in my circles, which is perfectly reasonable. My circles are very small. But yeah, it's not actually the worst drink in the world, to be honest. Like, thinking about it, it's pretty high in protein. It's got some nice fats in there as well, so yeah, there's nothing really wrong with that at all. I mean, I probably wouldn't do it, but there's nothing wrong with it.
What I eat in a day, part 3. 12 p.m. for boiled eggs with salt.
That's a lot of salt, oh my god.
Jug.
Oh, this is our first man. That's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so this is our first time seeing this gentleman, and he is the first man that we've seen in any of these videos, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, so he's having a jug of squash, 3 glasses, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with squash. I love squash, as you guys know. I talk about it all the time. And he's had the 4 boiled eggs with the salt. It was a lot of salt. That's unnecessary. Add a little bit. I know some people do like that. I don't. I've never added salt to my boiled eggs. It's just, it burns my tongue, so no. And now he's having what looks like a stack of sandwiches, so we're going to see what he's doing.
Of water with squash. 3 glass in total.
That was a humongous bite.
3 cream cheese and ham sandwich.
That's a lot of bread, and that is, I mean, he's got a normal amount of cream cheese because you can't see like a really thick layer, so that's good. And he's got a little bit of ham. What he could do instead would be to have your boiled eggs, nothing wrong with them, and having 4, perfectly reasonable. He's a really big guy and he's a man, so he can eat more food than us ladies. But what he could do instead would be to have 1 sandwich, maybe get a more substantial loaf, so either go for something like a baguette or even some really nice sourdough, and then make his sandwich in that. And I say that because he's having 3 sandwiches, so he's clearly used to eating a lot of food. If he had a more substantial bread, maybe like a German bread, as we discussed in a previous video, like a rye bread or something like that, it would fill him up a lot more, just because it's more fibrous as well. So have like a baguette, and then have probably 3 or 4 times that amount of ham. You're better off having a non-ultra processed meat, like a chicken or a tuna or something like that, or even get ham from the meat counters in supermarkets. But this is fine. There's nothing actually inherently awful about it. It's not the best, but it's fine. So have about 4 times the amount of ham here, and then add some vegetables or some salady things to it, just to make it even more voluminous. Because he is a big guy, he can eat a lot of food, and I imagine his stomach is stretched out to the point where he feels hungry very quickly. So he needs to have something substantial to make him feel full. and veggies is the way to go. And then he could have on the side, because he likes eggs as well, so he's got that on the side too, have not a few apples that make you feel poorly, maybe an apple and 2 bananas or something like that. Also, have you noticed the way he's eating like a bite, then a bite, then a bite, and he's not kind of taking the time to chew his food.
1. Egg 1 eaten.
He's not chewing and swallowing his food, he's just shoveling it in and in and in. And the size of the
Round
bites
2. Eat.
is crazy. So this suggests to me that this is some kind of addiction, because he is clearly enjoying the feeling of his mouth being full and he's not actually eating properly.
Sandwich 2. Egg 2. Eaten.
Not only is it incredibly poor manners to eat like this, and this should have been kicked out of him, not obviously physically harming him, I mean in terms of the habit should have been kicked out of him when he was a child. When children eat like this, you tell them not to, because it's rude and it's a choking hazard. If you've got that amount of food in your mouth and you're shoveling more and more in, then it is a really serious choking risk. And he's a really big guy. It would be incredibly difficult to get your arms around him to do that life-saving maneuver, the name of which I'm not going to say because it's copyrighted, but or to smack him on the back to try and dislodge whatever is stuck in his throat. So that is a really serious concern that he needs to be thinking about, because it would be incredibly difficult to do life-saving measures on him.
3. Eat.
And the fact that he's like, round 1, eat, round 2, this is done, does kind of suggest...
Sandwich 3. Egg 3. Eaten.
That to me sounds like there's something not quite right there. Is he catering to an audience, maybe? I don't know, it's a bit weird. Is he like in a competition with himself? I don't know, maybe this is just his way of getting engagement, because it is clearly going to be working. But the way he's eating is actually making me feel a bit sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Final bite and egg 4.
So
Eaten.
that's just unnecessary. Like, swallow your food before you put more in.
5 p.m. all you can eat buffet.
Do you think he eats like that in public as well?
Plate 1. Mountain of food.
Yeah. Another problem with eating this quickly, and the way he's doing it...
Am I the only one that eats prawns with legs and skin?
Yeah, I would say so. Another problem with eating this quickly is that it doesn't give your stomach time to tell your brain that you're full, because it takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to communicate with your brain and to tell you that you've had enough, which is why when you're eating you shouldn't really be watching TV or anything like that. And we all do it, let's be real, we all do that, and we all eat distracted by something or other. But one reason of actually concentrating on your food, one, so you can taste it and enjoy it, but secondly is so your stomach has time to talk to your brain. And when you're doing this, you can shovel in a lot of food and your stomach's not quite have caught up with you, so then you get that really uncomfortable full feeling afterwards because you've eaten too much, but you ate it so quickly that your brain didn't know that you'd eaten too much before it was too late and you'd already done it. So yeah, it's rude, it's gluttonous, and it's a choking hazard, and you're going to eat so much food, which is why I'm not actually that surprised that he can eat this much, because he's probably stretched out his stomach by eating like this. And I imagine he's done it as a child as well, because if I went out to eat with someone, like a friend or a young family member, and they were eating like this, I would, if they were an adult, not go out with them again. And if it was a child that is a family member, I would probably tell them not to, because it's a choking hazard and it is rude. So yeah, it's just awful.
Plate 1. Went down easy. Plate 2. Another mountain of food.
Wow. He is a big guy as well, and he is fully in public eating.
More
like
angles.
Who's holding the camera? Because whoever it is...
Plate 2. Made a dent, but let's get prawns for the third plate.
Wow, that's a lot of protein, but Christ, man.
Plate 3. Prawns. I think I ate a whole generation of prawns. They were so good.
I feel like I'm in like a zoo watching an animal that I'm not quite sure about. I don't really know how to react to this. It's disgusting. This level of gluttony and greed. It's quite ghastly to watch, actually. I definitely would never go out with this individual ever again if he ate like this in public. I would be mortified. And he has no shame about it whatsoever. And whoever is moving the camera for him, filming him doing it, is probably one of his biggest
Plate
enablers.
4. Has to be a dessert.
A dainty portion. Oh, you're in public. Oh my god. I'm actually quite aghast. I genuinely don't know what to say. I genuinely don't. That's his only piece of health food all day.
That was good.
Wow, you got that off real quick. Oh my god. Wow.
Finally, my 5th glass of Sprite.
I wonder if it was full sugar. He's drinking that in one go. He took that like a shot.
What a
Wow, I've never seen anything like that before. That's a loss of words, really. Anyway, let's go back to someone that's we're more accustomed to. If you have more to say for that.
fat girl eats in a day. I ate so much and I love it. I started off, my sister made me scrambled eggs on toast. I also
Another scrambled eggs on toast. That one looks much nicer. The colour of the eggs is better. We've got some tomatoes. The ratio is a little bit off. Probably have the same amount of eggs, one slice of toast, and twice the tomatoes. That's what I would do.
I also made the iced lattes and they were banging. It was so bloody hot
How much sugar was in the iced latte?
today and I'm fat. I was melting. I stopped on my way home at Circle K and I got a slushie, a Slurpee, half pink, half purple, giving lover vibes. You know what I mean? I then got
Not gonna lie, I quite enjoy a slush puppy, or I used to in any case, because they are so refreshing, especially when it's hot. And I know we get laughed at in this country from other places where it's hotter than here when we're complaining that it's like 35 degrees. But that for us is crazy, and it is so humid here as well. And the temperature just hits different. It truly does. So I was in Australia for a bit, and the heat here is just hits different. But it's also hot just for us. We're not used to it. It's hot, and we get upset when it's too hot. And slushies are great for that. But also, they're just full of sugar and artificial flavourings and artificial colours, and they are no good. I think I've mentioned in a previous video, I went to the cinema recently and got a slush puppy because I hadn't had one in years and I wanted to try it. And it was disgusting. The first sip I had, I was just flooded with disappointment as the artificial taste assaulted my taste buds. It was awful. So I gave it to my friend. I was genuinely upset. It was horrible. But yeah, if I want to get that Ninja slushie machine. I really want one because then I can make my own slushies out of squash. It'd be delicious.
invited to an Audi event, not Audi as in Audi and Lidl, Audi as in the car. I don't know how they got my details. I literally failed my driving test 3 times and I crashed on my first one. So random, but the food was banging. I love me.
To crash on your driving test is crazy. But yeah, damn, that's nuts. An Audi event seems pretty cool. Quite like Audi cars. But yeah, she's not having too much here because obviously it's an event. You don't eat that much, so there's no harm in it at all. And I hope she had fun. It does seem like a lot of fun.
A little hors d'oeuvre. We had some watermelon hors d'oeuvre, some cauliflower. We had some lobster rolls. We ate so much today, my dress ripped, which I literally cannot believe. This never happened to me before. Obviously, after this happened, we had to leave the event, so I went home and
If that happened to me, I would never be seen in public ever again. I would be mortified. I've got social anxiety and I don't like talking to people. And if that happened to me, I probably would have died. I would have perished. There's no way. And that would have been the day, the moment, if I put something in my mouth as an obese person, if I ate something and my dress burst open when I was at an event where people were dressed up and it was like a nice event with rich people, and my dress burst on me because I ate too much as an obese person, yeah, my life would have been changed that day.
Got myself a Mac.
I certainly wouldn't be going to McDonald's. I definitely wouldn't have been doing that
Needed to finish
after
the
I burst out of my dress.
food day off properly. Them ordered terms didn't really fill me up. Got a double cheeseburger and chips and a Sprite, and it was stunning. If you like this video, follow me for more.
It always baffles me when they think like McDonald's and that is stunning or delicious. It's like it's just ultra processed oil and grease. How is that stunning? I remember the last time I had McDonald's was years and years and years ago. I went out with some colleagues and it was a terrible choice. I remember on the drive back there was like 4 of us in the car and we were just sat there in silence and they were like, do you guys feel ill? And I was like, yeah. And I felt so sick. It's just disgusting. I think I only had chips as well. Awful. It's just terrible. It's just disgusting food.
Hi friends and haters, this is what I eat in a day as a fat person, eating whatever I want because that's how I lived my life.
You'll be living your life with health issues very soon if you don't get a grip, but you do you.
I started my morning with some coffee, like I always do.
She's got this air around her as like really smug, like looking down on us peasants that are just viewing her video, and it's really unnecessary. It's just like no one actually cares that much about what you're doing with your life and what you're eating because it only affects you realistically. So we don't have to deal with your joint issues. We don't. So you're only doing this to yourself and you're smug that you're obese. That's not the flex you think it is.
And then I made myself a big breakfast. I had some cantaloupe. I'm allergic, so I only had a little.
Why would you have it if you're allergic? Oh my god, pick a different fruit. But overall, the breakfast doesn't look that bad. There's quite a bit of cream cheese. Eggs look good. Cantaloupe is obviously a fruit. It's fine. Some kind of hash brown, deconstructed. We obviously have hash browns in the UK, and they are quite common. Not common, but they're like a breakfast food. I had a breakfast. We have seen a lot of hash browns in recent videos. Like, a lot of hash browns in recent videos. Is that like a staple breakfast food in the US? I don't mean that as a slight or anything. I'm just genuinely curious. Like, is it? Because I've never seen so many hash browns for breakfast ever. And I'm quite shocked. I don't know if that's like a normal thing to you guys. I don't know. It's pretty cool though. It's pretty interesting.
Myself a big breakfast. I had some cantaloupe. I'm allergic, so I only had a little. And then for lunch, I made myself some leftover hamburger dip from Kickoff Sunday. It's just cheese, hamburger, and no bean chili all mixed together.
It looks like primarily cheese because of the colour. It looks like melted red Leicester to me. And again, with these sharing bags of chips, weigh out your portion and have your portion, because otherwise you're going to eat the entire bag. I've been there. I have done that. I remember a long time ago, before I got myself under control, I bought a family size bag of crisps and I was like, oh well, I can just portion them out and have them every now and then. They lasted one day and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. Learnt my lesson. Felt very sick, but there we go. Yeah, no, overall it looks very carby, it looks very fatty, and there's no veggies at all, so that's not good.
It's just cheese, hamburger, and no bean chili all mixed together. I had some chocolate, and then for dinner I had...
She skipped over that chocolate quick, didn't she? 1 is a portion, you don't need 2, have 1. Why do you need 2? Maybe if you ate some real food you wouldn't be so hungry. Have a proper lunch. You could have had that bean chili thing, added a massive side of veggies, and you wouldn't have felt the need to snack. You certainly wouldn't have felt the need to have 2 of them. That's just greedy.
I had some chocolate, and then for dinner I had...
Again, why do you need 2 burgers? Have 1. And have less chips. These look like take-out chips to me. These look like chips that you'd get from the Chinese takeaway. And I know that because I've seen lots of these videos recently, and they're Chinese takeaway chips that look like this. You don't need 2 burgers. Only have 1.
Chicken.
And have some vegetables, and potatoes don't count.
Patties and fries. Super good, honestly. And then I ended my...
How could it have been that good? It's just beige. It's beige and beige and beige and beige and beige. I think their favourite colour must be beige. My favourite colour when it comes to food is probably red. I like red food. Red apples, red grapes, red tomatoes, obviously. Red peppers, watermelon. Yeah, I like red foods, not beige ones.
Night with a sundae.
She didn't show how much of the sundae she had, did she? She didn't show us how much of this massive pot of ice cream she had. She didn't show us how much syrup she had, which is very annoying. I love watching them when they do that. They always go balls to the wall. I love looking at their portions. It's so funny. Not funny, it's fun, because it's just different to what I would ever do, and I just find it fascinating. But anyway, that is the end of the video. It was an interesting one with that gentleman in the middle with his insane eating habits, but there we go. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please let me know down in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think I should do better, and yeah, thank you for being here. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys!